Hello, my Patreon friends. Remember me? It's been a while. Hey, let's do a bit of trivia, shall we? And for this week's trivia, we're looking at prize giving. And the question is, which of the following has not been awarded a knighthood by the Queen? Which of the following has not been awarded a knighthood by the Queen? Is it Paul McCartney or Mick Jagger, Bob Geldof, Elton John, Rod Stewart, Van Morrison, Phil Collins, or Ray Davies? One more time, which of the following has not been awarded a knighthood by the Queen? Paul McCartney, Mick Jagger, Bob Geldof, Elton John, Rod Stewart, Van Morrison, Phil Collins, or Ray Davies? I will give you an answer at the end of this video. Until then, folks, news. First up, we have news on the Pro-Ject 6.9 Perspective Final Edition turntable. There's a mouthful. Handmade in Europe, limited to 400 pieces and featuring a transparent acrylic plinth, this is Pro-Ject bringing back an older design, applying latest build techniques and upgrading parts to modern standards. It's called the Final Edition because of that process. Now, the original transparent deck and its opaque 6.9 sibling marked Pro-Ject's move into high-end turntables way back in the 90s, I think it was, building on the earlier Pro-Ject 1 and Pro-Ject 2 commercial turntable designs. Back then, because they were propelled by a bigger budget, the 6.9 Perspectives design team changed tack from the 1 and 2's rather solid build to the 6.9's isolated design. The 6.9 Perspective back then featured a tone arm and platter on a sub-chassis spring isolated from the main chassis. This 2023 Perspective features a decoupled sub-chassis and 3 adjustable springs. There's a trio of height adjustable aluminium spikes, an electronic speed switch controlled 2-speed motor, and a dust cover. You also get £365 worth of Audiophile 2M bronze cartridge, and that's fitted to the turntable's 9-inch one-piece carbon fibre tone arm. You also get a personalised certificate of ownership, and you can, if you fancy, talk to the company and they will send you a personalised serial numbered plaque for your turntable. Out this month, price is £1,299 or €1,399. I'll put a link down below. You can check it out yourself. I'll do that for all of the items mentioned in this video. Next up, we're looking at the Chord Company and the Powerhouse P6. House spelled H-A-U-S, not H-O-U-S-E. Chord Company now offers a new power block that's designed to reduce noise across your hi-fi system. This power block is handmade and it follows the flagship Powerhouse M6 and the S6. This P6, well, that's a lower cost unit. This P6 provides heavy gauge internal cables and high quality sockets, and the whole build is rather solid, and these are complemented by a 16 amp IEC input socket. Powerhouse technology avoids the use of serial filters, switches and neon power indicators, which can all generate noise and compromise performance. The design minimizes the interaction between the internal live, neutral and earth cables to hopefully maintain a clean earth supply. The unit is supplied with a standard straight connector 16 amp IEC power cable that can be upgraded with factory options such as the Clearway power cable with right-angled connectors. Price for this thing is £600. Now, Black Friday, it's a gift from the US. I'm standing here in the UK, and that has infested this retail sales thing. It's infested the UK for a while now, and it seems not to span Friday at all, but a period of time, basically all of November in some cases. And that seems to have occurred with Burson, who are Australia. So this thing's now worldwide, hey. And Burson's Black Friday lasts until the 27th of November 2023, in case you're looking in the future. And it's offering 20% off everything. And that's it, really. Short and sweet. Oh, actually, no, thinking on, I forgot to mention there's a few ex-demo models that are shifting for 50% off retail. I'll put a link again to the Burson shop below, and you can have a little gander. From low cost to rather high cost, and the M7 speakers from Magico, all the way from California. Magico's M7 floor standers will hit the streets, well, the well-heeled, plush, carpeted listening rooms of the rich and famous, possibly more like, during the first quarter of 2024. The M7 has a 164 centimetre tall enclosure, and that weighs nearly a quarter of a tonne. And it's fashioned from a monocoque carbon fibre shell with aluminium baffles damped using aerospace composites, which you would think would make the whole thing as light as a feather, but apparently not. A beryllium treble unit and 5 Gen 8 nanotech bass, mid-bass and mid-range drivers combine to hopefully blow your socks off, sound-wise. Well, the finest quality designer socks, of course. The price of ownership is around half of that of the company's M9, so it's a bit of a bargain. In fact, a piffling £50,000 short of £500,000. So, 450,000 in other words. And you can import and install those via, in the UK, at least via Magico's UK distributor, Absolute Sounds. I'll put a link below if you fancy adding several pairs to the Christmas stockings of your family and friends. And if you do, contact me immediately because I desperately want to be your friend. This is a slightly older news item, but I thought I'd mention it just in case, and it's from Rotel, and they have a couple of AV amps. One is called the RMB 1585 Mark II and the RMB 1587 Mark II. Both are Class AB AV amps. The 1587 delivers 7 channels powering 155 watts per channel, with all channels driven to 8 ohms. Powered by dual in-house manufactured high current toroidal transformers, driving 8 high-efficiency bulk storage capacitors. The amplifier features auto-switching XLR balanced and RCA inputs, along with a 12-volt trigger input and output for simplified power control. To optimize cooling, the 1587 is equipped with 4 thermostat-controlled variable speed ultra-low noise fans. Colors, silver and black. As for the 1585, well, that delivers 5 channels and 210 watts per channel into 8 ohms, utilizing dual in-house manufactured oversized toroidal transformers again, and those storage capacitors I mentioned earlier. The amplifier features a rear panel switch, allowing the amplifier itself to be configured as a 3-channel amp, supporting bi-amp mode of channels 1 and 2, and 4 and 5. Again, you can have this one in black and silver. Prices, well, for the 1585, you're looking at $4,199, and the same in euros, or £3,599. For the 1587, again, $4,399, and the same in euros, and £3,799. I, like yourself, would love to know why the euro price is so much higher than the pound price. I have no idea. And on that note of mystery, that's the end of your hi-fi news. Let's go to a hint, a tip, shall we? Just a quickie for you, and I'm not sure if I've mentioned this one in the past, but I can't remember, so I'm running with it again. This one is aimed at beginners, but I would like to hear from more experienced users out there on this one as well. The tip is this: if you buy yourself a pair of speakers with removable grills on the front, pull them off. I have one here, which I prepared earlier. Now, this is just a small one because it's easier to present to the camera. This one is off the front of an Audiophile power speaker, and you can see it's just a simple thing. Now, some speaker grills will pull off easily because they may be attached via magnets. Others, like this one for example, need careful removal because they can be connected via plastic lugs. The lugs in this case are on the speaker cabinet itself. Some are connected to the actual grill. So don't rip these things off like you're pulling off an old plaster off your finger. Carefully pop out each lug and remove the grill in stages, one at a time. Otherwise, you might bend the actual lugs or even break them. Now, the reason for removing the grill, well, my reason is to enhance the clarity of the overall sound, especially the mids and the treble. I find that when I remove speaker grills, I get a cleaner sound, a more open mid-range, a crisper treble response. But that's my opinion. So if I test the speaker and the grill can be removed, and not all grills can be removed, I hasten to add, some are fixed into position, and that's fine, but if I can remove them, I will. And I tend to prefer the sound with those grills off. Basically, with the grills on, well, I find that the sonics are literally veiled. Now, some hi-fi manufacturers I've seen in the manuals desperately want you to keep their grills on, and they say that their grills are acoustically transparent, and they say keeping the grills on makes no difference at all, and besides, the speaker looks pretty with the grills on, they say. But, well, I disagree, but that's just me. Tell me then if you prefer your speaker grills on or off, and why, and if you prefer certain grills on certain speakers, let me know what types, what manufacturers, what models they are. I'd love to know your reasoning and your thoughts behind your decision. Oh, and before I go, sometimes you have to keep speaker grills on for safety's sake, so beware of that. Now, I've mentioned before, I have a pair of Quad 57 electrostatics which run on high voltage chargers. So the grills protect you from touching the panels beneath. If you did, they would send you into orbit. So the grills are basically life-saving in this case. So yes, I get that. Even so, let me know what you prefer. That's your hint, that's your tip. Now, before we go, let's look at an answer to that trivia question. And let's do the question one more time. Which of the following has not been awarded a knighthood by the Queen? Paul McCartney, Mick Jagger, Bob Geldof, Elton John, Rod Stewart, Van Morrison, Phil Collins, or Ray Davies? And the answer is, the only one who is not a knight is Phil Collins. And now you know. Anyway, thank you very much for staying to the end of this video, and I'll be back next week with another one when I can manage to find my way out of the piles of boxes which are just there and there and there and there. So, wish me luck. Anyway, I'll be back next week. Hope you're well, hope you have a lovely week, and I'll see you then. Until then, folks, bye-bye for now.